But the case of usually when an individual is detoured are very slim. Detoured for good, that is. Usually when an individual is headed in the wrong direction, they stay headed in the wrong direction. One mother can make a difference. Hannah was such a mother who chose to totally dedicate her child over to the Lord. In so doing, God used Samuel as the prophet and judge to restore spiritual order back into Israel. You know, because of that selfless gift that she gave, she honored that vow to God. She said, if you would give me a man-child, I'll give him back to you all the days. I'll lend him back to you all the days of his life. And that's what she did. And God used Samuel in a mighty way. Like I said, when Israel was on a spiral downward, Israel was on a toboggan slide morally at this time. Eli the priest had two sons, Hophni and Phinehas. They were depraved, and they were desecrating the holy place in the temple where they had lewd sexual orgies. And their father, Eli the prophet, he knew it, but he did nothing about it. He turned his face. These two sons, they were also stealing from the church, from the sacrifices that people would come and bring. You know, the priest was to get a small portion of that offering, but yet they were taking the larger portion and giving the smaller portion to those people to give to the Lord as an offering. And God did not look kindly upon this. You know, God judged the priest Eli because of what his sons were doing, because he chose to do nothing about it. God also judged the nation because its leaders were corrupt. And that's the same way with any country, any nation. When the nation becomes corrupt, when the leaders become corrupt, God judges that nation. You know, God judged Israel because Israel was off serving other gods. And Eli, the priest, he wasn't leading the people in the way that they should be going in the positive sense. He was more caught up with what was going on around him and what his sons were doing. He turned his face from watching what they were doing, and he was more caught up. I mean, he was a heavy man. He was probably more caught up with eating than he was anything else. The story goes how Israel was in battle with the enemy. When you're in battle with the enemy and you're not living right, friends, you're in trouble. Here Israel was being in battle, and here they were being defeated. And so they said, well, we'll send the Ark of the Covenant, and God will be with us. Friend, I don't care. You can take the name of God with you when you're fighting the enemy and you're not living right. You're still going to get defeated. And that's exactly what happened. Here, the Ark of the Covenant, they went into the camp of the Israelites, and the shout went up, and the Philistines heard it, and they said, what meaneth this? And they began to get scared. And then they said, Philistines, shake yourself and become as one, and we'll defeat the Israelites. And they attacked Israel again, and they defeated Israel. And Hophni and Phinehas were killed. And the Ark of the Covenant was captured. And here comes a runner back from battle. And here, old Eli the priest was sitting in the gate in his rocking chair. And here comes the runner. And he told him, he said, your sons Hophni and Phinehas are dead. And that didn't move him as much as the next thing they said. And the Ark of the Covenant is taken. And he said he was so upset that he fell backwards in his chair because he was a fat man and a heavy man. He said he broke his neck and he gave up the ghost and died. And I think it was Phinehas' wife was pregnant with child. And when she got the news that her husband was dead, the rascal, she gave premature birth. And before she died, giving birth to this child, she named him Ichabod, which means the glory of the Lord has departed. You know, and I pray that Ichabod isn't written over the church here in America. I pray that, or the reproach of the wayward church hasn't caused God's hand to leave this country. I pray that we would get back into the place where we need to be with God, that God's blessing might come upon this country one more time. We need a lot of godly mothers that will raise up children in the fear and admonition of God, that this country might once again shine as a godly Christian lighthouse for the whole world, that it might send missionaries out abroad again before it is too late. You know, Hannah being one mother, she made the difference. in the nation of Israel, because Samuel came upon the scene after Eli was killed, and he came upon the scene and he started to get the nation of Israel going in the right direction because of the sacrifice of that one mother. You know, she said, if God would give me a man child, I'm going to give him to the God. I'm going to raise him up in the fear and admonition of God. You know, and that's exactly what she did. You know, the nation of Israel's history, because she chose to give her very best to the Lord, her first fruits of her womb unto the service of the Lord, and God blessed and honored her gift and sacrifice, and He brought a great deliverance because of it. You know, God wants to bring a great deliverance in your home because of the obedience of a godly woman in that home. God wants to bring deliverance to our country because of godly women raising up godly children in this country. He wants to bring deliverance to this country. Who knows but that child you raise in the fear and love of God might be another Samuel or great man or woman of God who will help bring this country from its own moral decay. My prayers for you, Mother, that today on this Mother's Day, I pray that you will heed to this message if you hear this. And I pray that you do. I pray that you would take heed to this message, that you would raise your children up in the fear and admonition of God, that they might be godly men and women, and that they might look to God for all their answers, and that this country might once again be called great, and God would bless it and look upon us and shine His face upon us one more time before it's too late. God bless you.